Okay, now we move on to slot 3, entitled Quality Video Production Techniques. So a good video is a video enjoyed by its audience, no more and no less. Now the audience may be you, your followers on social media, or client who hired you for a job. Making a good video therefore implies that you know your audience and what they like to watch. One of the ways to tackle them is by having quality video production techniques. There are various types of techniques to tell your story. And in this slot, our panelists will discuss on techniques for producing quality videos, such as rule of third, aerial perspective, boom shot, B-roll. So you will be exposed to all of these things. So students will be explained about the use of equipment and software also that will assist in creating videos without the need for high budgets and expertise. So I'll pass the floor to Mr. Gulab.
The technique that you use is just a supporting, it's a secondary thing. The content of your story is more important. But nevertheless, the technique, the right technique will add production value to your video. Okay. For example, if you use only static shots or intercuts, then your visual storytelling won't be interesting. So if you have lots of but then every technique that you use must synchronize with your story. For example, if you track in or track out, there must be a reason for doing that, not because you want to show your superiority in techniques.
Okay, I would like to share something that I forgot about this webinar is going to be like a talk show. I forgot. I forgot. So I prepared some
Wow.
slides. I prepared some presentation. Okay, so I would like to share something.
Creative.
Okay, creating quality video. There's a few elements that I figure out that students should know, okay, to create a quality video. But before you do to do the quality video, the first part of before you do your video is create a storyboard. What is storyboard? Storyboarding helps you figure out exactly what shots you need before you start filming. And shooting script is like screenplay for your video. Any videos, any content you do, um, it's good thing if you can make some storyboard. Okay, storyboard in mostly in film production, in TV commercial is very important because it shows how your products will be shown to will be presented to audience. Okay, this is an example of storyboard panel for Harry Potter. It's very important for students to create a simple storyboard to have a pre-visual of your content. What element and what visual should be on the video is really help you. Okay, remember the more time you spend planning on your film on your film or video, the less you find yourself missing footage later on. So storyboard is very important. Okay, move to the next slide. Prep your actor, actress, talent, or subject or product. Prep means, okay, make sure if you use talent, make sure they know what expected of them beforehand to minimize mistakes or waste time on the day of the shoot. If you just put on the camera in front of the actors and then just act without any preparation, without any rehearsal, itu akan jadi problem pada you nanti. Why? Every time you make the actors make mistake, you have to cut. Then when you cut, each time they make mistake, you cut. If 10 times, the mood of the actors will be down. Okay. The second one is you should have a good idea of what the scene is going to look like long. before arrive on allocation, and your talent should know exactly what they are doing. That's why in the process of video making, there's a three step of video making. There's a pre-production, production, and post-production. There's a three stage. As a filmmakers or video creators have to go through. Okay, and the number three is talent should memorize page open page of script. Very important to know what is happening in the script before you put your camera to shoot them. Okay, make sure your talent remember all the script or all the dialogues and what is going to happen in that scene. All right, number three. Oh, sorry. Number three, know what B-roll footage. As we talked before, B-roll footage everybody knows. Okay, so there's a A and B roll. A is a main, B is a supporting. So supporting is good to have supporting visual to you guys use when you on the post production side. Okay, the first one is to make sure they know what expected of them beforehand to minimize mistake time on the day of the shoot. B-roll is essentially any footage that isn't of your primary subject. If you're filming an explainer video showing your software product, B-roll footage might include shots of satisfied customers, using of your product, or external shot of your office. But figure out during the pre-production phase is to avoid situation in which you need footage you don't have. Okay, then there's no such thing as too much B-roll. B-roll is okay if you want to take a lot of B-roll, but for A-roll, don't waste time. Don't waste time shoot on B-roll if you are shooting a A-roll part. The main content is A-roll. The supporting content is a B-roll. Hope you guys understand. Okay, there's a tips about this. Need a shot of something that will be difficult or impossible to film yourself, such as aerial shot of footage from exotic locals. You can always use stock B-roll footage. Okay, nowadays there's a lot of website and a lot of providers of the stock footage. Okay, sometimes before this, I have used this bunch cross B-roll or shuttlecock. But some of this website you have to pay to take the B-roll if you guys want to use. Like but the best thing is shoot for yourself. Okay, shoot for yourself, because when you shoot by your own, automatically the footage will be yours. Okay, all right. Use the rule of third. This is what the moderator Encik Khalid said. All right. Actually, it's not very technical, these things. Okay. From this picture, whenever you're filming anything or taking picture, remember the rule of third. What is rule of third? Okay. As the picture in front of you guys. Okay. Imagine your shot is divided into these 9 equal sector by 2 horizontal line and 2 vertical line. Mendegak dan berlintang lah. Okay. Nowadays, even phone camera, phone camera, okay, phone camera have this line. Is not called on phone. They will not as a rule of third. It's called grid line.
Grid
Okay?
line.
Yes, grid line. Use the grid line to position your subject. Okay, there's a 4 empat tanda di sini, alright. This we can put actually we can put in this 9 box any part of this box, and if you want to use, yes, you can put your subject, but normally when the rule of third, you apply the rule of third, there's a point, there's a 4 point you can use. Okay, but this is rule of third we apply for the still photo, but nowadays videos also we can use it. All right, let's watch this example of this video. Look how interesting this picture. They're using the rule of third. They put all this subject on the grid line.
They put at the cross there.
Yes, it's automatically separate the background, the foreground, and the middle ground lines. It's very important when you use to take a picture or videos. Diagonal lines create great movement. Look how it creates movement. It shows how the subject goes, where the subject goes. Framing, use natural frame like windows and door. The concept of frame in frame. When you guys know all these elements, it's really easy to shoot. Use this guide, the rule of third. Look, this is the visual of still photos, but it's create move. Get close to your subject, yes, like this. The dominant eye in the center of the phone. Pattern and repetition. This is the element and principle of the photography actually. Because the videos comes from the still picture and cinematography is come from the picture actually. Symmetry, pleasing the eye, symmetry.
Do you also call this shot centralized framing, Cik Izzat?
Yeah.
Okay. Many people say centralized framing are not very suitable for filmmaking. It's more for news reading and also for reporting. But I think it's not true. Sekarang dah banyak exception kan. Even if you see many films also sometimes there is exception of breaking the rules kan. Kita kena guna kita punya firasat or our instinct as a filmmaker kan.
Okay, that's why when you use frontal shots, okay, when you use a frontal shot, okay, in motion picture, we call it as motion picture. When we apply a motion picture. When you take a frontal shots, we can use a movement of the camera. That's why there's a movement on the camera. There's a dolly in, there's a dolly out, there's a tilt down, tilt up, pen left, pen right. We can use it. So it's we totally use all the element of the photography by moving image. If you put the camera in front, so people will say it's a flat shot. If you guys watch movies, the Grand Budapest Hotel, yes, it's a very flat composition by the cinematographer. Okay, the cameraman shoot the film as a flat composition. But when he moved the camera, the flat getting interesting. Okay, no, that's why it's okay when you want to shoot in front, but sometimes we have to move the shot or move the subject. Don't only take you take a visual of actor and then he just stay and freeze. Move the actors. Okay, make the people the actors cry or laugh, or yes, it's a lock frame. It's a lock frame. Okay, put a camera in front of the actor and then lock frame, and then minta actors buat apa-apa, buat based on the script lah. Okay, so make sure then dia takkan bagi benda tu boring. So even flat, dia ada moving image. That's why on creating video, creative video, move your camera or move your talent. You can avoid the flat shot. That's why the element of photography and element and principle of photography kita apply dekat dalam motion picture. Actually, bila kita apply, then automatically shot kita akan nampak lebih cantik dan kemas. Alright, I share sikit lagi. Primary subject in the image is positioned where 2 of the 4 points, which are known as the anchor point. This technique is used to draw the eyes toward the main point of interest in the shot, and viewers' eyes will naturally gravitate toward the top left anchor point. Okay, this is the certain point that you can use on the composition and how you compose your video. Okay, the composition is not only for the subject, your talent or your product. It's applied to any shot of the landscape by using the horizontal and vertical lines. Like I said before, we can use this grid line or rule of third to separate the visual that we take from the background, midground, and the foreground. Okay, the foreground is the nearest subject in front of your camera. The midground is in the middle of the frame. Okay, and then the background is the paling jauh lah. So movement, most of basic cinematography movement can make your videos look interesting. This fundamental camera technique can inspire a countless numbers of combinations that will be add depth and visual interest to your next video project. Okay, zoom. If you are going to use zoom, try to use creatively. All right. If you shoot your videos by using a phone camera, it's not suitable for zoom in or zoom out, because the camera phone is not a broadcast camera or a still photography. Okay, the using of zoom is not smooth as broadcast camera or still camera. Okay, you can zoom, but in my opinion, avoid zoom by using a camera phone. It's not smooth enough to show how to tell your viewers by using zoom on your camera. If you use a DSLR camera or professional video camera, it's okay to use the zoom. Panning, move your camera horizontally, either left to right or right to left. While it's fixed on a certain point. Okay, you can move. Pan is mean from right to left or left to right. Tilt is when you move the camera vertically. It means from up to down, from down to up. Okay, while it fixed to a certain point. All right, dolly. Nowadays, there's a lot of supporting equipment. Okay, nowadays there's a lot of supporting equipment that you can use. The most popular nowadays is gimbal. People especially film students, okay, wedding videos, they always use the gimbal. Okay, gimbal is invention from the camera camera supporting gear called Steadicam. Okay, for filmmaking, Steadicam is really big, very heavy, but because of the development of evolution of still camera, before this still camera, you only can shoot a picture by using still camera, but nowadays still camera can shoot video. Okay, because of this consumer need to consume all this equipment, they have made a equipment called gimbal. Okay, using a gimbal can do all these things, dolly and track. A dolly, and when a dolly is when you move the entire camera forward and backward, typically on some sort of track of or motorized vehicle. Same as truck. Trucking is the same as dollying. Looks like the same, but you can use in very very short, short, short. Only you are moving the camera from left to right instead of in out. If you using the in out, is called dolly. If you move from left to right or right to left, it's called truck. Okay. Steadicam, floating cam, or stabilize shot. This is the same as gimbal. Okay. Nowadays, if you guys, new generation, you guys know this the gimbal thing. There's some brand called Xeon. It's very cheap, about 1,600 you can get. Okay, there's a gimbal also for phone camera. Okay, phone camera and DSLR camera. Okay, a Steadicam is a wearable device that gives the shot stability while providing the flexibility of a handheld shot. The operator holds the camera mounted to the device while capturing a smooth, flowing shot around a central subject or character. Handheld shot. A handheld shot lets you take the camera on the go as you follow the action of a scene. With this camera movement, the operator takes control of the camera and hold it while performing several basic crane job. Let's look at an example of camera movement. All right. We can see, okay, let's see this video. It's a 12 minute, but we're not going to 12 minute. Look how smooth when you use, this is not a gimbal, this is mostly like this one is what we call it. It's not it's not it's a fly cam, but fly cam is not like this. The difference between movement and not without the camera or without the movement and with the movement. This is without the movement. With the movement, look, when you move the camera, actually, it create a development of your story. Okay, the development of your story and your product. Don't use because of wow, it's so beautiful when you shoot when you move the camera. It's not about the beauty. It's about telling a story. There's a development from one shot into another shot. By using this kind of gear, we support the visual by using the camera movement. Okay, this is the basic shot, pan right. This is a pan right. Look how this guy pan the camera. Why we use all these terms? Because it's a global language in filmmaking. All the world using the same term. Okay, I skip the video. Right, look, camera. From down to up. to get a smooth, very smooth tilt and pan, you have to use a very good quality tripod. A still photography tripod, yes, they can stand the camera very steady, but when you use a tilt or pan, it's quite difficult to move. But when you use a high-end tripod, you can move your camera very smooth. Ah, yes, Ronin. 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 It's called Ronin. Look how they move the camera. Look. This is a frontal shot, but when you move the camera, the image totally different when you move the camera. All right, enough with this video because we have a lot of time.
Yeah, I think this is more catered to the professional level.
I try to find a very simple videos, but what I found in YouTube, all this simple video actually is for professional.
Professional
So,
level.
yes, it's professional level, but there's a more professional than this.
What
Okay.
about, let's say, for example, students who have limited equipment? For example, they just only have their smartphone in their hand.
Yes, they can find at the YouTube. It's called creating video by smartphone, using first smartphone. Okay, by using smartphone, because okay, I have one. I have one video, sample video. Okay, resolution for Galaxy Note 9 pun agak tinggi, so sesuai untuk shoot on Full HD. But nowadays phone pun boleh shoot 4K.
Okay. So meaning some of these information stuff like this is already available in YouTube, whatever, where students they can just only tap the knowledge.
Yes.
If they want.
The student can shoot the way of the guerrilla shoot. How the guerrilla shoot, okay? Okay, and when they want to move the camera, okay, sometimes they will use a very clean surface and then they put some kain on it and put the phone. So when they pull the kain, the camera phone will create a movement of track of or tracking shots. They can use this kind of method. Okay, for some production that's using the guerrilla concept, if they want to get a shot of tracking shot or dolly shot, they can use the supermarket trolley. They get into the supermarket trolley or any trolley, even the skateboard, they can put the camera on the skateboard and then they just move the camera. So it's automatically can create the movement, or sometimes we can call it as a cinematic movement. It's a cinematic movement. So student can use a lot of way, a lot of method by watching videos and try to think what is the best of method to get that kind of shot.
Okay, another thing, some of the questions regarding the quality of the audio itself. For example, perhaps sometimes they already recorded the video, but the quality of audio is very poor. What are the things that they can use to counter such thing? Because if, let's say, for example, they want to use something like headset microphone, is going to be very limiting.
Yes, but for the beginners, phone is the best gear that you can use to record the audio. Okay. For the beginners, maybe they can use, even the professional use it. It's called H4n. It's a recording device. It's a recording device. It's using a very small device. It's using a memory card, but for the concept same as a phone. When you use a phone, there's a like, for example, for our microphone here, okay, we can use as a mic for the talent. They put inside this mic inside the shirt, okay, and put this the mic inside the shirt, and then they put the phone inside their pocket. So they record the same, they record first, and then the camera will tell to action, to say action. But the problem is when we use this kind of mic, it will capture uh, the nearest
Sound.
sound, the nearest sound. So there will be problem when this mic bergesel dengan baju kan, and then
Yeah.
on the quality audio, the best is you use a clip mic, but it's okay when you use the only audio from your phone. It's okay because for the beginners, but try to avoid them. Use a phone camera to record your audio. Okay, to record your audio. Find some microphone that's a very tiny microphone like this, and put inside your shirt. And then take some cellophane tape or gaffer tape, put inside your baju, and then to cover it up. Okay, so try for the camera, the still camera. Okay, the still camera and the phone camera actually is not recording a very good quality audio. Not actually. If you want to use audio from the camera, your DSLR camera or your phone camera, uh, make sure that you shoot at the place there's a minimum sound. Okay, minimum sound that you can capture. I mean, it's environment sound. Okay, that's not too loud.
Okay.
If you shoot indoor, you have to make sure there's not too much echo. Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Izzat, we have around 5 minutes left. So, do you have anything else you want to wrap up on the spot?
Okay. Try to avoid using try to avoid using professional equipment. Okay, because you're amateur. Because when you use professional equipment, if you already know how to use it, then it's okay. But when you very amateur beginners, you can use your phone, especially your phone. Okay, but the main thing is in creating a video content, good quality video. Actually, it's not about the gear. Actually, it's a story. The content, what you want to show, is very important. How your story, you want to tell to the audience, is very important. If the good, for example, for the good story, when you use only a, s- a camera, a phone camera, and then without any cutting on shot, and that you shoot only
Editing.
one angle. Yes, no, you're not going through the editing process. You only take one shot. But when the content really give some feel and some effect to the audience, that's a good enough. It's a good enough. creating a good content. Creating a good content is means educate people about what you're showing. We it's not educational video. Educate. We can educate people in a lot of methods. Okay, so
Okay.
that's all for me.
Okay, so to summarize it all, video making techniques set the quality for your video. So we can achieve professional look more using the technique itself than the tools. So even without expensive equipment, chances are good that we can make a great video with whatever that we have in our hands. Just by paying attention to a few key details, for example, the one that being taught to us, the rule of third technique itself. So thank you to Mr. Izzat Hassan and the other panelists for sharing their extensive knowledge on video making techniques. Thank you very much.
Encik Muhammad Khalid, if I'm allowed to
Yes.
summarize,
Hmm.
okay,
Okay, sure.
we don't want to intimidate new filmmaker by all these sophisticated techniques and equipment. So I think what Iza is trying to say is make the best out of what you have at home to shoot. The most important thing is you must improvise. So if you have just a handphone to shoot, then you use more actors blocking yang macam Cik Izzat cakap tadi. So you create more movement for the actors to accommodate for your lack of camera movement. So the key word is you improvise and you have fun, and then you use whatever resources you have at home to create a good video.
Okay, we are done. Any other words from Cik Zul or Cik Zizan?
I'm okay. Okay,
Okay,
penjelasan
slot play
dah,
dan.
dah jelas lah semua.
Hmm.
Ada di situ.